So we'll be working towards the pose Bakasana or crow pose. And this pose, it has a lot to do with kind of turning inward and drawing the belly in and up. So we'll start the practice in a more opening pose. So what you can do is if you have a blanket or if you have a mat, that would be fine as well. What we'll do is just roll it up a couple times. So not all the way up, just a couple times. All right, and then the rest of the blanket will be behind you or the rest of the mat. Then you can start to lay back all the way onto the back and then start with your shoulder blades on that little roll. And then what you'll do, instead of just laying back like this, you'll actually walk your shoulder blades just until they come onto the other part of the blanket or the other part of the mat. Okay, so you want to be heavy. You don't want your shoulder blades to be lifted. You want the shoulders to be heavy onto the mat. And then you can bring your arms into goalpost arms, so just at 90-degree angles or towards that. And then I like to have the knees bent with the feet on the ground, so the feet can be wide, knees together, or you can extend the legs out and let the feet fall out to the sides, whichever feels better for you. Close your eyes here. And just start to let the breath slow down naturally. And take a couple cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, like you're blowing through a straw on the exhale. And come back to breathing in and out through the nose. And start to make that ujjayi sound, valving the back of the throat. So that's called your ujjayi breath. That will help to cleanse and purify the breath, as well as regulate the heart rate. Just keeping in mind and remembering that that sound does come from the back of the throat, not the nose. If you try to make that sound from the nose, you'll get really tired really, really quick, and you will not get enough oxygen. As you inhale, feel your rib cage expand in every direction. And as you exhale, just soften into the pose, breathing out through the mouth when it feels necessary or needed. Taking a few moments here at the beginning of our practice to just take a couple steps away from everything that's already happened during our day or our week. Taking this time to focus just on ourselves. Breaths. And then slowly roll onto one side. Gently push yourself up. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Cross your legs, keeping your eyes closed. Coming into Sukhasana, flexing the feet, letting the calves rest into the arches of the feet, and pull the flesh away from the sitting bones so you have a neutral pelvis. You don't want the tailbone tucking under nor the booty sticking out. So neutral pelvis, shoulders relaxed. Reach the back of the crown of the head up towards the sky. Having the eyes closed, come back to the breath here because the breathing will change a little bit as we come to seated, as we change from supine to seated. So start to draw the lower belly gently in and up. This is also where Uddiyana, we'll talk about that a lot today, Uddiyana Bandha, that helps to bring some lift. So we want to start to draw that lower belly gently in and up to start creating that lift, that uplift of energy. Lengthening all the way through the back of the crown of the head. Keep that length, and as you exhale, let the outer body soften. Let the jaw relax. Forehead, eyebrows, eyes. Getting connected again to that ujjayi breath. It's like you're making a ha sound from the back of the throat, but with the mouth closed. You can always practice with the mouth open for half, and then close for the other half. It's not a forceful breath. Eventually you'll get it on the inhale as well, but maybe at the beginning you'll just focus on the exhale. A few more breaths here. On your inhale, say to yourself, I trust. And on your exhale, my inner power. On your inhale, I trust. On your exhale, my inner power. On your inhale, I trust. On your exhale, my inner power. And circle your hands together in front of your heart into prayer. Let's set that intention with one Om. Okay, so take a deep breath in. And then you can slowly bow your head, let your head come down to your knees. And take a breath here, lengthening the spine. Roll the head to one side, gently draw the opposite shoulder down. Roll the head forward into the other side, drawing the other shoulder down. Once more, forward into the first side. And forward into the second side. And bring the head back down to center. Take one more breath here. And blink your eyes open. And slowly lift your head. All right, let's stay seated like this, and we'll come into a forward fold to start to get into the hips a little bit more. Or begin to get into the hips, I guess. Sukhasana kind of gets into the hips, but we'll lean forward, adding a forward fold into Sukhasana. So big shoulder roll, lengthening the front of the body. Inhaling here, and then as you exhale, start to tip the pelvis forward, thinking of lifting the tailbone up. So on your inhale, lengthen, exhale, tilt. So tailbone starts to lift up a little bit instead of tucking under the booty. Hands can stay on the knees or come down in front, wherever you can go to keep the shoulders. You want to keep the shoulders plugged in. So you want to try not to reach out too far where the back rounds and the shoulders unplug. So reach the heart forward and up, plug the shoulders in, tuck the chin slightly to lengthen the neck. Breathe here in and out through the nose. And slowly start to come up, switch it out. You can have a little bit of fun with it. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Big shoulder roll, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tilt. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tilt. Plug the shoulders in, tuck the chin slightly, reach the heart forward and up. Ujjayi breath. Don't stress about the ujjayi though, okay? If you're not comfortable with that, you don't know how to do that yet, just breathe in and out through the nose, breathing in as far as you can go comfortably and breathing out completely. All right, and then slowly come up. Now let's come into an ab strengthener here, because for arm balances, you really need to fire up your abs, all right? And just kind of let your body know, hey, you need to start activating this area of your body, okay? So let's do this with boat pose. So you can lean back, lift the heart. You want to have the spine nice and straight instead of rounded. So you'll be able to do this if you don't tuck the tailbone under, if you kind of tip the pelvis forward a little bit. Okay, so you're balancing on the tripod of your tailbone and your sitting bones. If you feel comfortable, lift the legs. Have the shins parallel to the ground. Squeeze the knees towards each other. Reach the fingers towards the feet. Now you can hold here, navel to spine, or we'll add on. Come to half boat, inhale. Exhale up, let's do 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. So you're not touching the legs or the shoulders. 4. One more. Hold for 5, 4. Squeeze those knees in. 3, 2, 1. Release. Cross the legs. Coming back to your breath in between these hard poses. Let's do that one more time. So we'll do 5 reps, okay? If not, just hold right here in boat. Try to smile if possible. Makes it a little bit easier. Reach for your toes. And go down. Inhale. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross your opposite leg in front. Hold here. And anytime throughout the practice, if you feel like doing a cleansing breath, like you need to just let go ahead and do that. So inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. All right. Now, bring the knees in towards the chest, cross the legs at the ankles, and let's rock and roll 3 times. And then we'll come forward to the feet if possible, and then to the hands and knees. 2, 1 more. Come forward to the feet, bring the hands down, and step back to the hands and knees. Now spread the fingers apart as far as you can comfortably. Really root those knuckles down into the mat. Pointer fingers pointing forward. Bring your knees back about 3 or 4 inches. Curl the toes under. On your inhale, lift the knees up. And on your exhale, push into the knuckles, sending the hips up and back. Let the head hang loose. Okay, so we want to try to be in a straight line here from the wrists all the way up to the hips. So if you have a little bit tighter shoulders, you might not be straight line here. So bend your knees a little bit and see if you can push a little bit more into the knuckles and see if you can take that angle out of the shoulders. Walk the dog, opening up the hamstrings a little bit here, pushing one heel down and the other heel down. And bring the feet as wide as the mat and start to walk the hands towards the feet. Turn the toes in slightly, bend your knees, grab your opposite elbows, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Tip the pelvis forward. Think about lifting the tailbone up. Let the head hang. Let the face relax, the forehead, the eyes, the jaw. Push into the outside edges of the feet a little bit to lift the inner arches slightly so that you're not caving in or dumping into the midline of the body. Bring the hands back down to the ground. Walk back to a wide leg, downward facing dog. Walk the dog here. Walk the feet forward towards your hands. Big toes touch. Knees can be bent. Hands to the shins or ground. Inhale. Come to a flat back, wherever you need to go to get that flat back. Exhale. Tip the pelvis. Fold forward. Ground down into the feet. Look out in front of you. Inhale. Circle the arms up overhead. Palms touch. Exhale. Bring the hands down in front of the heart. Holding here. Breathe. Grounding down into all 4 corners of the feet. Draw the lower belly gently in and up. Bring the breath all the way up, letting the ribs and chest expand in every direction. On the inhale, outer body softens as you exhale, ground down. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway up, reach your heart forward. Bend your knees, exhale, step back to plank. Inhale, push forward. We'll break this one down a little bit. Knees can come down or stay up. Exhale, lower down. Chest needs to land first. So if it didn't, bring your knees down, please. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lower down, curl the toes under, draw the shoulders away from the ground. Inhale, push up in a straight line instead of rolling up. Okay, see if you can lift the belly first even. And then push up, inhale. Exhale, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Again, knees can be bent. Roll the shoulders away from each other. Roll the forearms in, keeping the knuckles heavy. Sometimes we can get a little bit bendy. If you have a really bendy back, like me, instead of trying to bring your chest towards your legs, start to draw the low ribs in slightly to bring your spine into a straight or more neutral position. And walk the feet forward. Inhale, lengthen, reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. Squeeze the legs together, look out. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath here. Let's do one more, Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskara A. Ground down as you exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up, hands touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Lengthen. Exhale, step back with your non-dominant foot. Inhale, push forward, navel to spine. Exhale, lower with or without the knees. Chest lands first. Squeeze those elbows in. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up. Bhujangasana. Exhale, down. Curl the toes under. Draw the shoulders away from the mat. Inhale, push up in a straight line. Exhale, hips up and back. Roll the shoulders away from each other. Forearms in. Low ribs in. Navel towards the spine. Feet parallel. Make sure you're breathing. And walk the feet in a couple inches. Big toes touch. Bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, walk or lightly float to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Ground down into the feet. Look out. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Find your gazing point or your drishti to help you focus. This will help once you get towards going into those more advanced poses like arm balances. Okay, let's start to add in some more poses. Okay, so ground down, inhale, arms overhead, bring the hips back into chair, palms touch. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up monkey. Flat back, exhale, walk to plank or hop to chaturanga, push forward, lower down. Inhale, come through cobra or up dog. So we're taking out some of the vinyasas. Exhale, hips up and back. Big toes touch. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, bring it through low lunge. However you can get the foot there in between the hands. Hold here and breathe. Walk the right foot over just to the outside of the chest slightly. Right knee right on top of the ankle. Push your left heel back, right knee forward at the same time. Reach the heart forward. So you want to try not to have a rounded back. So this is where your block could come in. If you have blocks, you could put a block on each side or just right inside. Squeeze the knee in. And bring the back knee down. Start to walk your right foot all the way over to the right side. Turn the right toes out a little bit. Right knee right on top of the ankle, going in the same direction as the toes. You can come down onto the forearms on your block. Just be careful because that block might move, okay? It's not like glued or concreted into the ground. Squeeze the knee in. Try not to let it fall out. Relax the face. Relax the neck. Just going to where you feel sensation, but never pain. Try to smile. If you can't smile, maybe you've gone a little bit too far. If you can't breathe, you know you're too far, okay? So you should be able to breathe in every pose. Slowly make your way up. Reach that right foot up and back. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. You can modify and lift that back foot if you want to make it harder. Inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, engage the abs, hips up and back. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, bring it through however you can get it there, low lunge. Hold here, feel free to grab a block. Walk your left foot to the outside of the chest. Scoot your right foot back. You want to have the heel on top of the ball of the foot instead of down. See if you can bring the heel right on top of the ball of the foot. Push the right heel back, left knee forward, chest forward, shoulders back, navel to spine. Breathe, smile. Creating space in our body and in our hips, as well as activating our abs, and getting our upper body ready. Through all of our vinyasas, we get our upper body ready for crow, okay, for balancing our weight on our arms. So bring your back knee down, walk your left foot all the way over to the left, turn your left toes off of the mat slightly, make sure the knee's going in the same direction as the toes. Then you can come down onto your block or onto the ground. Breathe here. Try to keep your hips pretty square. You don't want to dump off onto the right side. You can make sure you can breathe. Soften into the pose. Let your face relax. And move your block out of the way if you had that. Lift your left leg up and back. Inhale. Exhale, come forward. Now to make this easier, I squeeze the legs towards each other, lower down. Inhale through Bhujangasana, shoulders away from the ears, elbows bent in cobra. Okay, they're straight and up dog. Exhale, hips up and back. Only do up dog if you've actually been to class and you know how to do it correctly, okay? Because a lot of times people do upward facing dog wrong. So a lot of times people can mostly get just as much benefit out of cobra. Okay, bring your big toes together to touch. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bring it through low lunge. Flatten the back foot, make it parallel towards the back of the mat. Windmill the arms up, and then bend into the right knee. Try to get your hips even. So you don't want the back hip way higher. Try to level them out. So you'll lower the back hip, kind of lift the front hip most likely. Bring your right knee back so it's right on top of the ankle. Right knee's pointing straight forward. Turn your back toes in slightly. Right heel in line with the arch of the back of the foot. Lift the entire rib cage up, not just the heart. You're not doing a back bend here. Lift the back ribs as well. Shoulders relaxed. Gaze out through the right middle finger. Virabhadrasana to Warrior Two. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, right forearm to the right leg, left arm overhead. Now here, make sure you don't dump into the right shoulder. Neck is in line with the spine. If it's available to you, right hand can come to the block or the ground. Okay, you want to keep your heart open. So if your heart's closing, then you need to back out of it a little bit. Put your hand up on a block or bring it back up to the leg. Tuck the chin slightly to lengthen the neck. And bring both hands down. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, come forward to plank, lower down. Inhale through cobra. Exhale, hips up and back. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, bring it through low lunge, flatten the back foot. Windmill the arms up, bend into the left knee. Left heel's in line with the arch of the back foot. Turn the back foot in slightly. Push into the outside edge of the back foot to lift the inner arch. Pelvis is neutral. Gazing out through the left middle finger. Lower belly gently in and up. Lift the entire rib cage. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, left forearm onto the left leg, right arm overhead. Close the shoulder like you're trying to close that armpit. Stay there, or left hand to block, or the ground. You need to have both shoulders directly on top of each other, so you do not want to be closed, okay? It's not about getting as far into the pose as possible. It's about feeling sensation with the correct alignment. So inhale, reach a little bit more. Exhale, downward facing dog or three-legged down dog. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, hips up and back. Hold in down dog, or please feel free to take a resting pose. And bring the feet as wide as the mat. Keep the heels lifted. And start to turn your heels in a little bit and walk your hands towards your feet. You might walk your feet a little bit closer together. Just hang out here for a moment. Take a drink of your water if you've got some handy. Okay, so this is the beginnings of Malasana, or garland pose. So the heels are lifted here. Now if you bring the feet a little bit further apart, you might be able to start bringing the heels down towards the ground, okay? Elbows inside of the knees, and then push the knees away. And see how whenever I do that, it helps me to lift my heart forward and up. Lengthening the spine. Now it's okay if your heels don't touch. If they don't, grab your blanket or your extra rolled up mat and put your heels on that, okay? This is actually it's really comfortable actually if you're on a blanket. You could even put a bolster here and set your booty on a bolster if you wanted to hold it for a while. Just come back to your breath. And we'll start to come down a little bit further, okay? So if it's available to you, you could start to round into the pose, which is kind of fun sometimes because I don't always let my students do that, but for this one we will. Okay, and start to kind of walk and walk and walk. Get yourself down as low as you can go. You can even start reaching your hands back behind you, turning the palms up. All right, and then slowly come to seated for a moment. Extend your legs out. Just let the legs get straight for a second here. Whenever we have our knees deeply bent, there's a little bit of a shorter cooking time, as my teacher likes to call it. So it's good to just let the legs, let the blood flow kind of be pumped back into the legs. And that's also, it's really good for the lymphatic system to bend the knees deeply, hold that, and then release it and let all of that fresh kind of oxygenated blood pulse through and move through the rest of the body. Okay, so from here, start to draw the left leg in. And let's rock the baby a little bit, okay? So you're just holding the leg like this. I'm sitting on my blanket because it helps to keep the pelvis neutral instead of tucking under. So that's always an option. You could always sit on a rolled up blanket or mat. If you feel comfortable, you could bring the foot even up into the elbow, as long as it doesn't make the background, okay? So it's just gonna depend on your hip. Anytime you turn the leg out in this kind of weird way, make sure you keep the ankle locked, okay? Just like this. You're pushing into the heel and the ball of the foot. It looks like Barbie doll's foot, right? So this is what Barbie doll's feet look like to fit into her shoes. So that's a good way to remember exactly how your foot should look, okay? If you do that, that'll protect the knee, okay? You don't want the ankle moving all over. Lift the chest and just kind of move that leg around a little bit. Now grab the outside edge of the foot and pull it back. You can even hold on to the big toe of both feet. Try to lift the chest. This one's pretty challenging. Archer pose. All right, release. So working towards crow pose, where we need to get down, we need to be able to bring the legs up. So poses like this help us to prep for that, as well as we did lizard too. There's others, but we can't fit them all into one practice. Rocking the baby first, lift the heart. So you might not be able to go as far on one side as you did on the other. That's okay. And grab the outside edge of the foot and pull it back. Hold on to the big toe if it's available to you. So this is, you grab your peace fingers, right? Like when you say peace, how you bind your toes, you put the peace fingers right there, wrap them around, and then secure with the thumb. Pull it back, reach for the big toe. This one's surprisingly challenging. Whew, and release. All right, so take a chill out for a second. Take a drink and watch me. I'm going to demo crow. All right. So again, we fired up the abs. We did our chaturangas, getting our arms and our upper body ready to hold the weight of our body. Again, we did our abs. We got our hips open. We started getting into that shape by coming down in between the legs. All right. So there's a few different ways that you can work with crow. We will utilize a block if you have a block. But let me show you just how to get into it first, okay? And you can try with me, but I do want you just to watch the first round. So if you want to come into Malasana, that's fine, or you can stay seated. So we're coming here into Malasana, lengthening the spine. Start to come down. All right. Now, what you want to do here, you don't want to go into crow really low like this. This is something that, that you're not going to have any lift. So remember how I was talking about Uddiyana Bandha in the beginning and how we were doing it a little bit with our breath. So you're drawing the lower belly in and up. Just kind of like also what you did in the ab exercises, right? You're drawing the navel towards the spine. So again, instead of just letting the belly hang down, whenever you round like this, drawing the lower belly in and up, as if there's a string attached through the back, like going up towards the sky. So let's try that. Come onto the hands and knees for a moment. Inhale, look out, just a tiny, tiny back bend. And then exhale, pull the belly button up towards the sky. That's Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, look out, just to lengthen. Exhale, pull it up. Inhale, look out. Shoulders back. Exhale. pull it up. Okay, so there's a lot of action. There's a lot of drawing in and up. That's going to give you that lift that you need for crow. All right, so they're coming here, having the toes turning out and the heels towards in towards each other, because what we want to do, instead of having the knees straight, we want to have the knees turned out so that we can rest the shin onto the tricep. Okay, so watch how I'm going to do that. Spread the fingers apart, pretty much down dog hands, down dog arms. They're not closed, they're not turned in, they're not turned out, nothing like that. Lift the hips up higher than you think, so stick your booty up. Bend your knees. See how my knees are going out to the side? They'll go a little bit sideways. Knees go out to the side so that you can push forward. Okay, I'm not jumping. I'm just gently pushing forward, resting my shins onto the triceps. My elbows are not at 90 degrees. Okay, it's like this. Close, but not quite. If it's 90, you're probably going to be a little bit too low and have more, you be more likely to kind of splat. Okay. Lifting up, pushing forward, looking forward is key. Eventually, you can lift one foot. So you're thinking about squeezing, squeeze. Use your hamstring to squeeze. Then the other foot, someday. Maybe the toes touch. All right. So if you can get into crow, see if you can hold it for 5 breaths. If you can't yet get into crow, we can utilize the block, okay? Even if you don't have a block, like my couch might work. Like if you took the cushion off of the couch, you can maybe put your forehead like on the top of the couch here, the seat. So there's different things that could work. You just want to make sure it's not going to hurt you, obviously. Okay, so this is how we'll use our block or our couch. Spread the fingers apart, lift up. Slowly push forward. Get the knees as high as you can. Okay, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the knees in. Forehead can come down. Lift one foot and then the other foot. Okay, so that's Bakasana. Sometimes people call crane. There's crane and crow. So they're kind of like one's a little bit more, a lot more advanced. Okay, so you can just kind of play around with that, practice that. Feel free always to send me any questions regarding these poses, and I will try to do another video to answer them. Another way you can use your blocks is to stand on it. Lift the hips. It's a little bit more scary. Slowly push forward. All right, so let's chill out from that. You might do that again, or we'll go into a variation, okay? So you can take a break while I show you the variation, which is baby crow. All right, so before we do that, actually, why don't you come onto your belly? Come onto the forearms. Have the elbows directly under the shoulders, and you want to form a box or a square with your arms. So your hands aren't turned in and they aren't turned out. So the forearms are parallel to the long side of the mat. Curl the toes under. Inhale, lift up. Now exhale, push forward. Inhale, pull it back. Exhale, push forward. Inhale, back. 3, 4. Now hold it forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that works big time. Okay, chill out here for a second. I'm not going to make you guys do that again, but if you're really serious about getting baby crow, that might be something you want to keep practicing, okay? So let's try it. Baby crow is actually on the forearms. It sounds easier, doesn't it? But it's not. It's actually much, much harder. I'm sorry. So if you don't have crow yet, you can try this one, but you'll probably be able to get crow before you can get this one. This took me a while to get because you really need to use that Uddiyana Bandha, that lift. So think about rounding, rounding, rounding the back. Okay, forearms down. Inhale here and then start to walk in. So for this one, you'll place your knees a little bit more into the armpit, okay? Heels up, 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 up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then splat. All right, let your head go to one side, draw the opposite shoulder down. To the other side. And to the first side. And to the other side. Okay, we better do one more variation. Now, I call this one half crow because one-legged crow is a little bit different. One-legged crow, you have one knee in and then you extend the other leg out. But instead of doing that, we'll have one knee in the center, okay? So we're coming here into our crow, and we'll keep the middle leg in a pose. It's called Lolasana. So the middle leg will just squeeze in and draw in towards your chest, okay? It's really, really hard. I know I can do this on one side, but I don't know about the other. So we'll see. I'll show you, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'll come to crow with my left leg. Squeeze that heel in, and draw the right knee into the center. Okay, so you can give that one a shot. So that was the side I could do it on. I'll try it on this one. Maybe I'll surprise myself today. So it really has, this one has a lot to do with just how in the heck do I move my body and use my abs in this new way? Because it is different. Make sure you breathe. That was a little bit, at least I did it that time. That's good. Again, you're just going to have to figure out how to shift your body and shift your balance, and you'll get it. You'll get it. Okay, good job. Come to seated. Cross the legs. Put your non-dominant leg in front and pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Please feel free to sit up on your blanket if your tailbone, especially if your tailbone keeps rolling under, or if it's just more comfortable. Turn the palms up because we've been really kind of closing, so let's just turn the palms up, signifying a little bit more of an opening. Let the heart open, let the shoulders relax away from the ears. You're not pulling them down, just relaxing. Chin parallel to the ground. Slowing down the breath. Slowing down the heart rate. And then turn the palms over onto the knees. And as you inhale, lift the heart up, shoulders back, look up. Exhale, round navel to spine. Pull on the knees, feeling a nice stretch in between the shoulder blades. Inhale, arch, look out. Exhale, round, tuck the tailbone, chin towards the chest. Pull on the legs, feeling that nice stretch in between the shoulders. A couple more. And come back to center. All right, extend your left leg out and have your right leg in. I don't like to bring it all the way into the body because that makes my background, it makes my tailbone tuck under, but if you can do that, that's fine, if you can keep your right on top of your sitting bones. So I like to bring my foot a little bit more by my knee. Tip the pelvis so that you're sitting right on top of the sitting bones. Hold on to the left knee with the right hand, so start to twist towards that right leg. Hold on to the right knee with the left hand, right hand goes behind. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the heart. Exhale, twist. So draw the right shoulder back. You can just coat hang this leg, they call it. So like that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. You can even walk your right hip back a tiny bit so that you don't put any strain on the lower vertebrae. And release. Let's switch it out. I'm going to go this way so I don't turn my back to you. Okay, so left knee is in. Coat hang that leg. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, drawing the left shoulder back. Just hold here and breathe. Again, you can walk the left hip back a little bit, about an inch. And come back to center. All right, extend both legs out. Inhale, do a big shoulder roll. Exhale, tip the pelvis. This one you really might want to sit up on something. You do not want the tailbone tucking under, okay? Or bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tilt. Plug the shoulders in, reach the heart forward just like we did in the beginning. Tuck the chin to lengthen the neck. face. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. You could do the peace bind, peace finger bind. Slowly come up. Now, if you have a blanket or an extra mat, or take the mat you're sitting on, roll that up. Let's put that under our back. Slowly lay back, opening the heart. Making sure that your hips, your pelvis is heavy onto the mat. You don't want that lifted. Arms a little bit wider than the mat. Turn the palms open. Tuck your chin just slightly so that you're not exposing your neck. Okay, that will make the body not really be able to relax, because that's a very delicate part of our body. So just tucking the chin a little bit, protecting the throat. And take a couple cleansing breaths or sighs. Sighs feel really good. And start breathing in and out through the nose as it feels good for you. Letting the outer body relax. And then very slowly just roll to your right side and then move that blanket you were laying on. Just move that out to the side and lay all the way back onto the back. Bringing the feet about as wide as the mat. Let the feet fall out to the sides. Final pose, Shavasana. Letting the back of the body get heavier and heavier with each exhale. And let the front of the body get lighter and lighter. Creating an ease, sense of space in the center of the body. Forehead, down through the face, throat, shoulders, belly, and the back of the body, and all the way down the legs into the feet. Feel free to push pause and stay here for 5 or even 10 more minutes. Set the alarm on your phone. And bring some movement back to your fingers and toes. If you're ready to come out, reach the arms overhead, feet in the opposite direction. And slowly bend your knees in. Bring your knees in all the way to the chest and just rock a little bit from side to side. Across the legs in front of the body. Now, if you have high blood pressure or any other sort of conditions, feel free to lower onto your right side, then push up if you get like dizzy or anything. Otherwise, roll up to seated. And you will feel like a lightness or an uplift. That's okay. Just kind of ride that wave, ride that feeling. Breathe here. Noticing how you're feeling after your practice. Circle your hands together in front of your heart. On your inhale, I trust. Exhale, my inner power. And if that doesn't resonate with you, if you don't feel like you do, then just change it a little bit by saying, I am open to trusting my inner power. So inhale, I am open to trusting. Exhale, my inner power. Inhale, I am open to trusting. Exhale, my inner power. Let's close our practice and show gratitude for coming to our mat today and having the ability to make that happen with one Om. Take a deep breath in. And then you can bow down to where it feels good. Bring your thumbs from your heart center up to your forehead, sealing in your practice. Acknowledging the energy that's within you, around you, connects us all together, never goes away. That energy within me acknowledges that energy within you. And I thank you so much for letting me guide you through your practice today. Namaste.